Good evening, everybody. It's wee Paddy from across the shock. And I've eventually got my fh41 from Ganzo. It took a while this time. Normally I'm getting quite... I'd ordered it at the same time as everybody else. Whatever happened, I think it actually got stuck in customs, but I'm very glad to have it now. I've already cut myself on it, so I just had to restart this video. So it's very sharp, I can tell you that now. But it's a beautiful knife again. It's another just unbelievable how a company can charge £20 I paid for it, which is about $23, delivered to my door. There you go. All right, I've had to wait a bit. So what? I'm never that desperate. I've got enough knives. I've about 100, so one more coming will just do. Yes, I'll be a wee bit down the list of getting the knife out on the review. Don't care. It'll not bother me that much at all. It's nice to get it out there first, but not the be all and the end all. I just want the knife. And, you know, how can you want a £20, $23 knife as much as you want a $50, $60, $100, $150 knife? And I do. I've loved Ganzo from I started. I love their attention that they give to detail for the price range that they're in, for the bracket that they're in. There's just nobody out there that's beating them at the minute. Nobody. I'll give you a wee walk around the knife. We'll do a quick walk around it first. Look, isn't that a lovely blade shape? I think it's beautiful. I genuinely do. It would remind me of a very simple Ray Laconico blade sort of shape. It's simple lines. There's nothing complicated on it. It's just a functional, simple drop point. It has a most beautiful swedge which starts about here and runs right down to the tip on both sides. And it seems to be equidistant, equal. You know, it looks absolutely perfect on both sides. It's a high sabre grind, and it's nearly like a full flat grind, basically. Absolutely stunning. Really, and it seems really thin behind the edge. What's the edge come like? Look, this is a Ganzo. I do this every time, and I don't know why, because look at that. It's just Ganzo put out knives that are sharp. Strange that for a sharp object to come out sharp. I wish some of the other bigger companies would just fall into that real high-tech sort of premise that a knife is supposed to be sharp. A knife's supposed to be sharp. That's why we buy them. But the grind is absolutely perfect on both sides. There isn't a smile. Look at that sharpness choil. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Look at the chamfering right round the whole of this knife. Right round the whole of this knife. Look, let me tell you, look. I'm going to bring you this. This is what Ganzo do that amazes me. Look at that. Chamfered right round the whole square of your flipper stud. Right down the back of it in the knife and a wee bit of jimping. Who does that? Who does that at that price? Who does that at that price? To me, that is just really stunning. Sorry, my focus is gone there. There we go. They brought out another, I think they call this grey, but to be honest with you, it's blue. And it's a different colour blue from I think it was, yeah, the last couple have been a blue colour. Just let me show you. Look at the difference. Completely different. So they're not just firing out the same blue even, they're changing that colour up and down. And I really like this colour blue. I was going to actually dye these scales red, but unless anybody has any... No, I might do it with my 21. I'll time up 21 red. I just love this. It is a beautiful... The jimping is perfect. It's angled towards you, so when you push your thumb down on the jimping, it sticks and it doesn't move. Spyderco, perfect at that. There's a cheap company. Look at that there. Look how neat, tidy and precise that is. It's just stunning. The pivot, you have to use 2 screws to take it off. That'll never bother me at that price. Look at the back spacer. Again, a lovely little back spacer. Is it the same as the last one? No. So, I mean, even the simple thing of a back spacer, they're changing up every time they're coming out with something new. That is just a model of a company that should be charging 2 or 3 times the amount for what they're putting out. Their D2's been tested. It's fine. Absolutely as good as anything out there. So, why am I in such a down sort of a mood with Ganzo at the minute. I have no right to be, have I? I mean, that is a beautiful knife. Let me give you the measurements of this knife. This knife is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 inches spot on. Dead on 8 inches. It has a cutting edge of, well, the blade length's about 8.5. Sorry, 8.5. 3.5, but just under 3.5 as a cutting length. Perfect. The handle, just over 4, 4.5. A really good EDC size. In centimetrics, it is about 8.5 centimeters for the blade length, and the handle length is about 11 centimeters. So that's 19.5 or 20, whichever way it works out. So, perfect size for EDC. It's a full size EDC. I think 8 inches is a full size EDC without shadow. What weight is it? I'm going to move that box up out of the way there. Right, let's see what weight she is. And then I'll go on to my little rant. Not like me to have a wee rant, is it? Ounces. It is 3.5 ounces. Perfect. You know, there's nothing. That's absolutely great. I'll go to grams. It's 100 grams. So there you go. Again, just a perfect weight. 3.5, full working knife in D2. It's got liners inside it that are sunken. They're milled out, not the bottom, obviously, because it's a liner lock. There's your lockup. The lockup is about 25%. Is it a dodgy 25%? No, watch this. There's no movement up, down, and if you can see the pressure I'm putting on it, there is nothing. It is just solid. So well made and finished. I think this is probably, I think the fit and finish is getting better, if that's possible. Sometimes the grinds might have been a wee bit off, or you'd have maybe got a wee flare. I think it's getting better, if that's possible. It's getting better. In a land where everything's going up, when I say land, I mean sort of world, that everything seems to be going up in price and you're getting less for it. I believe Ganzo are giving us more for the same money. You know, go figure. Go figure. They're hex screws. Let me just show you how deep that is. I don't know whether you can see it, but it is genuinely really deep. I know the screws can be a bit soft. In fact, I've already wrung one off in the clip here, but I took that knife apart and dyed it and all, but I wrung one off. That's all part and parcel of having a cheap knife. You're not going to get everything. They have to cut the corners somewhere. And they don't cut very many, because it's very rarely I even strip a screw. As long as you take your time, heat it, it's very rarely I strip a screw with it. And to be honest with you, a Ganzo, I don't take apart unless it needs it, or I'm going to rit dye it, or I'm going to do something like that. And I know I don't even have to do it to rit dye it, but I just do it. So, it's the perfect knife. It's lovely. It really is a perfect knife. I'm going to put it down with this new batch of Ganzos. It started with this little beauty here, the fh11. Then we had the fh21. Then we had the fh31. And then we had the fh51 before the 41. Now, these knives are all just beautiful. They're beautifully finished. They're lovely knives. They've changed the colours. They've changed backspacers. They've done everything to give us a product that will excite us and get us buying them. They've made one a little bit smaller than most, and I love that. It's about half an inch smaller. I really do like that. I hope they're going to do a wee bit more of that to make them just that wee bit smaller. Now, I'm not buying another Ganzo. There's a statement you didn't think you'd hear. I'm not buying another Ganzo till they do another locking mechanism. I'm tired of flippers. There's 5 here, and there's you know, a different orientation of this knife as well, right? So 6 if you like, but there's 5 in this run. I've had enough of flippers, Ganzo. They're lovely. Thank you very much. Now let's move on. I want to see another one. I want the axis lock back. I want, you know, a liner lock. I want to see different things. Oh, sorry, that is a liner lock. But what about a frame lock? What about, up on that side of the game a wee bit? And I know I'm asking for a lot, but Ganzo always do deliver. But I'm tired now of flippers. I'm not a great flipper lover. So I want something, whether it be a hole, whether it be a whatever. But I cannot fault this knife. This knife, I think if you're going to go out now and buy your first one, I would say 41 if you want. Look at that. Look at that now. Look. Watch. How good is that? It's just amazing. Amazing. They don't have the strongest detents, but that's fine because they flip absolutely brilliant. I like the smaller ones, so I'd like to see maybe some smaller ones, but every one has got a different blade shape. And that's great. So now let's change up the opening mechanism. Let's keep it fresh. For me, I've had enough of the flippers, so I don't need to buy any more. I have enough different blade shapes. But I don't want that to be the end of Ganzo in my collection. I want to see them branch out a wee bit, do something a wee bit different. So if we all mention it, it might happen. If we mention us reviewers, we mention, that's if you do want something else. Some people don't. Some people are quite happy with that. But as a collector, I've got every blade shape I need in that. I don't need anything else. I would like to see something a bit fresh. I've gone on long enough, haven't I? You can't just say, shut up, Stephen. But, look, do I recommend it? Of course I recommend it. It's just value beyond what you're supposed to get for that amount of money. This is a star quality knife. The G10, everything about it is just quality. Everything. Sunken liners. I mean, it's just everything. It just gives you your D2 there. They don't billboard it over them. Sometimes you can get it and you'll not even see the billboard. But I like their flaming bird or whatever they call it. But deep carry pocket clip, it's deep carry again. They've got it right up the top. It's great. So, I mean, even look, the access, look at that there. They've cut it down. They've made it smooth on this side. So you've absolutely no problem getting your thumb across and getting this going. It just drops. So, Ganzo fh41, well worth waiting for? Yes. It's a beautiful knife. Go out and buy it. I would recommend any one of these 5 knives. If you're just starting, buy any one and start and buy all 5. They are all great knives. But I genuinely think the fh41, for me, looks-wise, feel-wise, the way the blade seems to be cut, the thinness behind it, to me, it's the best of the 5. Although I do like the small one now. I have a review coming on the 51 very shortly. But there we go. There's the 5 in front of you. Just an amazing array of budget quality. That's 120 quid, say. I'll say 125 quid for 5 D2 knives with flippers. With bearings. Just G10. Go Ganzo, I'm telling you, brilliant. I just want them to change. I don't want to buy any more now in this series. I've enjoyed it. Let's get on to different locking mechanisms. Let's change it up a wee bit again. Keep it fresh. Take care, everybody. Paddy's away. Enjoy your new Ganzo F41, fh41. If you've got one coming, you'll be very, very happy. Cup of tea time. Bye now.